So if we move on to the next part of the code, Section 1, Fundamental Canons. If you read through the code and begin to analyze its structure, you'll see that the fundamental canons, at least the first 5 of them, also constitute the content of Section 2, Rules of Practice. So first you get this general statement of the canons, and then you have a specification of them in Section 2, the Rules of Practice. So we get the general idea, or the general injunction, to do or to not do certain things, and then you get some specification, which is meant to, I think, specify what is actually meant here, give some examples, give an interpretation of the meaning of the general injunction that is stated in the canon. If we look at them, fundamental canons: engineers, in the fulfillment of their professional duties, shall 1. Hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public. 2. Perform services only in areas of their competence. 3. Issue public statements only in an objective and truthful manner. 4. Act for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees. 5. Avoid deceptive acts. Those are the 5 that you'll see in Section 2 that are actually specified. 6. Conduct themselves honorably, responsibly, ethically, and lawfully so as to enhance the honor, reputation, and usefulness of the profession is sort of elaborated in Section 3 and sort of just another kind of a restatement of the aspirational ideals that are described in the preamble. So if we look at those 5 at least, or we look at we look at all 6 of the actual canons, and my understanding of the word canon is that canon means instrument. The basic rule or the basic framework. The canons are the standards. The canons are the most important things. And so these are meant to be the most important ideals or principles in the ethical code. If we look at them in the literature in engineering ethics and in the kind of things we'll read from the Board of Ethical Review, they're not all of equal importance. Well, they're not of. Some of them seem to be talked about a lot more than others, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean, and you'll know in this course that this is an issue that'll come up again and again, and that is the relationship between Canon 1, the whole paramount canon, and Canon 4, the act for each employer or client as faithful agent or trustee canon. It is often pointed out that those canons may be in conflict with one another. That conflict between holding paramount, which means putting first, considering most important the safety, health, and welfare of the public, and the 4th canon, to act as a faithful agent or trustee of your employer or client, that supposed conflict between those 2 duties goes very deep in the history of engineering as a profession. Engineering has a different history than obviously than law and medicine, for example. One of the things that's often pointed out is that engineers have never typically had the kind of independence that lawyers and doctors have had, because they've typically been employees of companies, and oftentimes of very large corporations. So that the duty to the public is thought in some way to sometimes be in conflict with the duty to the employer or to the client. So that conflict, a supposed conflict, or that friction between the 1st and 4th canons is a very important issue in the history of engineering, in engineering ethics in general, and we'll see it worked out in several essays that we read and cases that we read. So yes, those are the canons. They're set out there, and they are specified in Section 2, Rules of Practice, which we'll look at next.